You've already mentioned that you play piano, guitar, and you're teaching voice lessons, and you sing. Okay, so are there any other instruments that you play? First of all, let's start there. Are there any other instruments that you play?
Tambourine.
That's an instrument.
I can do a meat shaker. Watch it. Watch it. Yeah, I do play other percussion instruments. I used to have a big box of all these really cool instruments, like a real vibroslap. And like, I still have my bongos.
Yeah.
When I lived in LA, I had this box of all these cool instruments, like a vibroslap and some, what do you call those little wooden sticks? Claves.
Oh, yeah.
Cool shit. And I think I loaned it out to another musician friend, and I used to do a lot of drinking back then. I don't even remember who I loaned it out to, and I never saw this stuff again.
Oh.
Yeah. I did way too much.
Fun.
Yeah, that happens, when you're young.
So what got you started playing instruments, singing, and music?
Well, you know what? My mom made all three girls in my family take organ lessons when we got an organ in the house. And my mom used to play the organ at church, and she played piano when she was a little girl. So she made all three girls in the family take organ lessons for at least 1 year. And I was the only one that stuck with it for like 5 years. Although my little sister, she learned how to play the flute. So that's how I got started playing music. And then I didn't think I was going to. I'll tell you a little story. Deep down inside, when I was a little girl, I wanted to be a movie star or a rock star or some kind of a star, right? In fact, I shared a story about this with my Patreon people. Here, let me show you this picture. I have a Patreon, and at a certain level, you can get the calendar.
Nice.
And so here's the picture. Here's the story about how I wanted to be a movie star. And there's me.
Oh, that's
7 years
awesome.
old. And my dad said to me, I announced to my dad, when I grow up, I want to be a movie star. And his response to me had this impact on me that I did not know about until I really dug deep 28 years later. What he said to me was, boy, that's a tough business. And that, I think at that moment that shut down like my dreams of becoming like a movie star or a rock star or any kind of star. And so, all through grade school and high school, I just figured, I'm going to get good grades and go get a sensible job and get a good degree. And so I was like, I wanted to, become a psychologist. I was interested in psychology. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology. And my advisor in college, he's like, well, you really should become a PhD if you want to be the most successful in the psychology world. So here's me. I'm like, okay, I got to go get this PhD. And I was like, on my way. I was on my path, and I was visualizing myself. I was like, wow, and I'm 54 years old. So I was at that time, I was whatever, so like 1990 when I was in college. And I was visualizing myself. Like, what am I going to be doing on the eve of the new millennium? And I was like, oh, I'm going to be at like this, I'm going to have a party, and I'm going to have all these I'm going to be a famous psychologist, published all these books and done all these really successful studies and helped all these people with their marriage problems. And I'm just going to be drinking champagne at a party with all these other psychologists and doctors and things at my party on the, 1999, December 31st. And this is what I saw for myself. And so that was my path. And so I went on to graduate school to get a PhD program, to get a PhD. I ended up out in Reno, and I was really excited about it. Because I was like, I visited the campus, and like all the other students were like all excited about like their research projects that they were talking about, and the research projects that they were doing. And I go out there, and my first year of study in this PhD program, I was so depressed. I just wanted to shoot myself. I mean, I couldn't stay awake. I was so depressed. When you're depressed, all you want to do is sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't stay awake to study and read all this technical reading, and like I was really, really, really bad. I don't actually know how I even passed any of those classes, to tell you the truth. I knew I was in the wrong place. And lo and behold, I ended up quitting the program. And I was actually the first of 3 of my cohorts to quit the program. 5 students total in my class. So it was kind of a toxic environment, and that happens at the graduate level, I think, a lot. But I don't know. It's like, why don't you do something about your attrition rate? Like I didn't know they had this really bad attrition rate. I was just really excited to get in, because I was competing against other kids that had a master's degree already, So anyway, so I came home after that first year of graduate school, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I called up my college sweetheart. His name is Stan, and he still plays in the same blues band that he played in when we were in college together. And they play at like State Fair every year and stuff like that. I called up my college sweetheart, and I said, hey, would you teach me how to play guitar? He goes, sure. I picked up this guitar because I had 5 years of keyboards when I was a little girl. So I knew all about how the chords all work together, and what, a C chord and a D chord and a G chord, and they all work together. And so I picked up this guitar, and I learned like whatever, 3, 4, 5 chords, and I just couldn't put the thing down. I was like up till 3 o'clock in the morning, and like it was like, this is like my salvation. I'm like happy. And so I ended up writing a bunch of songs that summer. Went back to Reno to figure out, what am I doing? What am I doing? Am I going to go back? What am I going to do? So I went back to Reno in my second year of being in the PhD program. I shouldn't have went back at all, because it was just a waste of money, student loans and stuff like that. Because I just dove into the local music scene in Reno. And I started going to any little songwriters group that I could find that existed, and open mic. And I ended up going to this open mic on Monday nights. It was at a place called the Met. And I was really nervous about performing my first band in front of an audience. So I wanted it to just kick ass, So I convinced my roommate, who was also she was a student, obviously, convinced my roommate to learn this song and sing like the lead part for this song. And I played guitar and I sang harmonies. And so this is my first time at the open mic, and I played my original song. We kicked ass because she sang really well, and I was singing these killer harmonies. And it was just like the crowd, just like, I was like, wow. It was like such a good feeling. Like they loved my song, and we did a great job. And then I felt like, oh man, I wish I would have had more than one song prepared, because these people want more. And it was just like, that was a turning point for me. I was like, I have to play music. This is bringing me such joy. And then I ended up quitting the program, and I put my first band together, and the rest is history. I've been a struggling artist ever since then. But this CD coming out it's the 10th CD of my career.
Wow.
I do have stuff on Spotify with my former bands. One of them is called Shut Up Marie. That was a band that I had in Los Angeles. Shut Up Marie. And then Annie B and the Vagabond Company. is another band. We've got one CD on Spotify. So there's 3 CDs out of the 9 that I've recorded that are actually available on Spotify. But the one from the Complication was never officially released. So that might come out at a later time with some other iteration of that project. But yeah, so this is still the 10th CD of my career, and I'm really excited about it. And so that's why you can't find any Annie B music on Spotify or on any of the Apple Music or anything like that, because the one solo acoustic CD that I did in 2010, I never released it because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't want to just release a CD and like nothing happens with it. I'm like, why would I do that? I don't have to do that. I'm just gonna sell it at my shows, and you know, I've sold thousands of copies of that CD. You know, it's like, because I used to play a lot of shows, and so I'd run out of CDs and I had to go buy some more, and then I'd run out again and go buy some more. So that's my story.
Well, that is a great story. Thanks for sharing that story. That was pretty inspiring, I think.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, just like, and since I've been doing a lot of soul searching as an artist, and I went to this mastermind for artists in November of 2021, and that's when I discovered the impact of what my dad said to me when I was 7 years old, because he said, "Oh, that's a tough business." And so ever since then, everything that I've done has always had that black cloud over it. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm doing all this stuff, but probably nothing's going to come of it. You know, that's the energy that was always attached to everything that I've done, because that had such a massive impact on me. And so now that I discovered that I had this limiting belief that I've been carrying around with me everywhere I go, that is one of my messages is, you know, do you have limiting beliefs of your own? And if you do, what are they? And a lot of these limiting beliefs literally happen when you're 7 years old or younger.
Mm-hmm.
But you know all that shit. You know, we're on the same page.
I'm just nodding and agreeing so everybody out there knows that you're right.
Yeah. I mean, the environment that we grow up in from age 0 to age 7 has such a massive impact on the rest of your life. And so that's one of the things that I want to learn more about and start speaking about, and become an inspiration to people so that they can, you know, kind of look deep inside and see if they have limiting beliefs that have been holding them back. And then maybe they need a Turk, and then maybe, you know, like all these things, you know, like, yeah, it's happening.
I'm so excited for you. It's been so awesome getting to know you and hearing some of your stories and hearing some of your wisdom today. So I really appreciate that.
Heidi, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure chatting with you, and I can't wait to get to know you more. And when is your band playing?
My band's playing on Saturday, but I'll be there both days, so I'm not gonna miss your set.
Is somebody recording your band?
I don't know. I'm sure I can find somebody to do it, but I haven't worked that out yet.
Yeah. Tell me the name of the band again.
The name of the band? Yeah, it's Mast. You see it up here in my little thing, Heidzalyn of Mast.
Right? Mast. Okay, I love it.
Like in a sailboat.
Yes, I love it. Okay. Well, I'm sure you guys are going to have a kick-ass set. I really wish I could be there on Saturday. But
yeah, well, it's been a lot of getting back in shape and making sure to sing every day, because holy cow, it's been a long time since I sang for a whole hour straight in a real life.
You'll be fine. Well, take care of your voice and get a really good night's sleep the night before. Make sure you don't have any stress, and make sure you're hydrated. You know what to do.
I know, but it doesn't hurt to hear it. Thanks, Mom.
Right? We gotta take care of each other, girl.
That's right, we do.
I love it.
Well, everybody, go to howlisthebomb.com/Pharmapalooza. You can check out the other interviews that I've done with the other bands that are going to be at Pharmapalooza. And you're going to be able to find a link so you can learn all kinds more about Annie B. And
Yay.
so if you've been really interested by this interview, definitely go and check that out and show up for Pharmapalooza. Annie B is playing on Friday night. And that's June 9th.
Yeah, June 9th. I think we go on at 8.
Yes.
Either 8 or we have until 9. So if we start at 8:15, we're playing between 8 and 9. So
there you have it. I hope to see all of you at Pharmapalooza. And I am Heidzalyn with Austin Entertainment Management.
yay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Rock on!